Like, I used to like relax my hair like all the time, and then I finally like let my hair grow. I just like lived in my truth. I have a black mother and a white father. Growing up, I didn't know that I was different.
Still on the discourse of hair, today we'll be taking a different perspective where we'll be looking at mixed race people. I've been getting a lot of comments from people speaking of not including a mixed race in the whole struggle of hair. I realize that for them it's a completely different experience, and in light of this video we are going to understand what their struggle really is. So take a listen. This is Comfort for Life, and I bring to you compilation of TikTok videos for educational purposes. We are here to interact, and feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let's have a conversation around this. Kindly give this video a thumbs up for recommendation, and if you're new here, consider subscribing, and let's dive into this.
I think that this is a great story time opportunity to talk about my upbringing. I have a black mother and a white father. Growing up, I didn't know that I was different, but I knew that something was supposed to be a secret. Trigger warning, this is about racial passing and my experience growing up in my hometown back in the day. We moved from another state, and my grandma, who's white, she kept telling me, you can't go around telling people that your mom is black. You have to tell them that that's the nanny. When you go to school, like, don't mention your mom. It's like, why? I remember asking her why. And she was like, because it's gonna be harder for you. They're gonna treat you differently. They're gonna put you in stupid classes and all this stuff that she was telling me. But I knew from my grandmother, it was more of a social aspect. She didn't want people knowing that her grandchildren were like half black. In this elementary school I went to, I noticed that double fountains, not just like a small one and a big one, but it was like a small one and a big one, and then another small one and a big one next to them. And it was always near the bathrooms. And I always questioned, why is there two girls' bathrooms like so close to each other and two boys' bathrooms so close to each other? I didn't know that my school was at one point a segregated school. Two black people in my whole school. Everyone else was white. My hair would curl because of the humidity, and my grandma wanted to erase the black. She wanted to erase the black. Back in the day, there was something called Japanese perms, a relaxer, and I would just remember my scalp burning in the shower. Other things that she would do, she would like, when you go to like the beauty supply store and you see like those like special soaps, she would put all those soaps on me and tell me like, stay in the shade, squeeze my nose, thinking that it'll make it smaller. Starts questioning you, just say that you're Italian. And it's just crazy. So there was this black boy named Jeremy that like joined our class like mid-year. When I tell you, that's when I learned that they'll treat you differently. Jeremy wasn't allowed to go on the blacktop. Jeremy had to stay inside. Jeremy, obviously like schools have like funding for like kids that can't go to like certain like field trips. They'll leave Jeremy behind. The kids will call Jeremy and like the teachers would just like laugh about it. And I always felt like Jeremy knew that I was part black, but he didn't like know. Like he like felt it but didn't know. That's when I noticed like, oh shit, if I tell someone I'm black, like I'm gonna be treated like Jeremy. So I just didn't tell anyone. It wasn't like I was ashamed or something, but I was taught like this was something bad. There would be like parent-teacher conference, and my grandmother would show up in replacing my mom. My mom's very submissive, very sweet woman. Oh, you can't show up. You're gonna ruin this family. You're gonna ruin her opportunities if you tell people. I'm not one of those like self-hating. I'm not here like, oh, don't look at my mom. Like none of that. Like me and my mom were really cool. Like we really chill. She was just here like yesterday. But my grandma, trials and tribulations. So my mom one day randomly decided to show up to the elementary school, and it was my birthday. When people saw my mom, they thought it was the nanny. I guess I slipped and said mom. This girl, I forgot what her name was, like Crystal or whatever. She was like, you're. And I was like, no, I'm not. So this Crystal girl went around, told everybody that I'm actually like black and making fun of me. They said, oh, that's why your hair looks like it's electrocuted. Like my teachers started asking me, they're like, are you? I was like, no, that's my nanny. That's not my mom. And I remember going home and I asked my mom, I was like, why can't I tell people you're my mom? And she was like, it's just for your own good. The moral of this story with the elementary school is that if I ended up telling people that I was black, I would have been in like these horrible classes. I wouldn't have been taught properly. I wouldn't have gotten like the new textbooks. They gave the black kids the old ass textbooks and had them in a different class. Like they would come for certain classes, but not all the classes. And you could just tell that they were like a little behind with school. And then I knew that, yeah, I was getting like good education, but I always like, it was nothing that I was like, oh, I'm ashamed of being this. It was like, why do I have to keep this secret? And nobody looked like me. And I was just so confused as a kid. But then when I got to high school, that's when I started noticing that people say some wild ass shit. I went to high school, people started calling people hard ERs. There's more black people. And nobody knew. And then I think it was my junior year, I just like told everyone, I'm like, you guys know I'm half black, right? Nobody believed me. This is my mom, showing them pictures, showing them my cousins and all this stuff. I like finally, like I used to like relax my hair like all the time. And then I finally like let my hair grow. I just like lived in my truth. And yeah, they treated me a little differently after that. But I felt so happy to just like not live with this weird secret. But then now I understand why my mom, well, it wasn't really my mom, it was my grandma. It was not like the imitation of art where I was trying to disown my mother and live my life as a white woman. That was not the case. I don't know, like as an adult looking back at it, I can imagine how confused I was as a child. I never like I said, hated my mom or felt like I was ashamed of being black. I just knew that I saw that if I told people, I would be treated differently. And so that's where the whole like light skin privilege and all this stuff and this whole biracial talk that's going on TikTok is like trending, because they're like, you don't know what it's like. And yeah, like I don't know what it's like, but I saw, and I also had a black mom and I saw her experiences and I saw how like my father's family treated her. And to this day, I don't really like fuck with them like that.
Somebody just told me that I shouldn't be doing twist outs because I have a looser curl pattern and only people with 4C hair can do twist outs because they don't have definition. I just don't understand it. You don't have to have a certain curl pattern in order to do twist outs and braid outs. They're called protective styles for a reason. People who have curly hair want to protect their hair as much as possible. What's wrong with that? I'm sorry, but y'all be doing way too much when it comes to what naturals can and can't do. This is my hair, and if I want to do a twist out on my hair, then that's just what I'm going to do. That's just like saying people with straight hair can't use flat irons because their hair is already straight. Maybe they want to make it more straight, and maybe I want to have more definition. Here's my advice to people like this. Stop being worried about everybody else and what naturals can and can't do, and just start focusing on yourself. And here's my advice for the natural hair community. We're supposed to be uplifting one another, accepting every natural hair as they come, okay? But you're sitting here telling me what I can and can't do with my own hair, and that's just not gonna fly with me. I'm just gonna pray for you.
The clip I'm about to display was stitched in response to this one here. I really didn't think that I'd have to do another video on this, but here we are. I've never been the kind of person to let like negative comments or anything get to me, but like it's becoming increasingly more difficult. It's getting to the point now where I actually can't post a video about my hair or anything without the comments picking me apart and picking apart my race and the way I look and trying to put me in a box. I have white people who are picking me apart and saying, oh, well, I have curls like yours and I'm white, so you aren't mixed.
I am very aware of the fact that white people can also have curly hair. I've never said they can't. And I also have a lot of black people saying, you're not mixed because you've got a white dad. Or you're not mixed because you're only 25% black. I don't understand who makes these rules. Who makes these rules of what you are and what you aren't? What percentage would make me mixed then? Because the way I see it is quite simple. If you're more than one ethnicity, if your family, your heritage is more than one thing, you're mixed. Just because my skin is whiter than what you would typically expect of a mixed person doesn't make me not mixed. It doesn't make me white. No, it makes me mixed. I have spent the last couple days feeling, don't want to cry about it, but I have been crying about it. And it hurts. I'm kind of ashamed to say that I've been letting these comments get to me, and people say don't read the comments, but you don't know it's a negative comment till you've read it, you know? My granddad is from St. Kitts in the Caribbean, and he passed away 2 years ago now. And ever since I started to wear my hair curly, I have felt closer to him than I ever have, and I've felt really confident in myself and, you know, finally authentic, finally like feel like I'm appreciating where I came from, where he came from. 3 out of my 4 grandparents immigrated to the UK. They are not from here. I'm actually half Irish, since everyone really wants to know the details of my race. I'm half Irish, which makes me really pale, for a start, so that's where that comes from. The green eyes, Irish. I know my hair's in a wig right now, but the curly hair, Caribbean. The freckles, I don't know. I mean, I had a hell of a lot of people have a go at me for saying that came from my granddad. It could have come from the Irish side, I don't know. At this point, I've considered taking down my account completely because these comments are just getting too much, too hurtful. But to those people that are continuing to comment such kind words of love, words of support, I only post my videos for you. That you are the only people these videos are for. I'm here to highlight the diversity of mixed people in this current society, in this current generation, and also help people manage their curly hair at the same time. And to anyone that wants to turn it into a race debate, or wants to throw abuse into my comments, please leave my page. Please block me if you don't like what you're seeing, because this is not what this page is for.
Does it ever make you insecure that someone might think you're attractive because of your natural hair? No. But I like to yap, so I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna break it down. So I went natural because I had relaxer in my hair and my hair was thinning out. So my goal was to have healthy hair. I wasn't concerned with like being beautiful or pretty, especially to men. I was more concerned with, okay, my hair's thinning out. Let me stop putting chemicals in it and start taking care of it for real. But I'm also not ignorant to the fact that people with type 4 hair, we get told literally the worst things ever about our hair. We get called the nastiest things ever. I get hate comments in Spanish and English, so it's a war on 2 fronts. But I guess I've just learned not to like base my self-worth on, oh, like, does he think I'm attractive, does he think I'm cute, da 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 da, because like if you think about it, how you look is not your problem. That's their, like, if they have a problem with how you look, that's their problem, not yours. So you really shouldn't like concern yourself with people that might think you're ugly or something, because like it's literally not worth your time or energy. And also, like, it's really ironic, I get the most hate comments from men with my same hair texture telling me that I'm nappy headed, that I should straighten it, that I should get braids, this and that. And it's like, your hate of me comes from a hate of yourself. So I can't help you love yourself. You need to figure that out on your own. Until then, I'm not going to like concern myself with you or entertain you, because like you literally hate yourself and I can't help with that. Also, it's your natural features. If someone doesn't like your natural features, they aren't worth a second of your time to think about or to dwell on. Like, that's really not your business.
Friend, I think you're absolutely right. Thank you for sharing this. Shout out to you, because I am definitely dealing with a moisture overload or a protein overload. Let's talk about it. So I took to the internet. Okay, look at this girl's hair. This top fuzzy part is what my hair looks like 24/7. And this is the result of a moisture overload or a protein overload. I am learning this for the first time, that a moisture protein balance is really important to keep your hair healthy, nourished, hydrated, whatever. But when you're in a moisture overload or a protein overload, the results look the same. Your hair is both just dry and weak and brittle and not very hydrated looking in both situations. So it's kind of hard to tell which one you're dealing with. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that I'm overly moisturizing my hair because I never do protein treatments, ever. But if you're somebody that does do protein treatments and moisturizes or whatever, it could be either or. So it's a matter of like trial and error. Add more protein into your routine or add more moisture into your routine and see which one helps your hair more. If you also think you're overly moisturizing your hair, I have read in this article and a couple other ones that you should just be using more protein-rich products or like using foods and stuff. I don't fuck with no food mask, so I'm not putting food in my hair. But adding more protein into your routine can help with this problem. This video about to be long as hell, but if you're dealing with a protein overload because you do prioritize protein, you should read the back of your products and see whether or not you have products that like have tons of like, it says right here, quinoa, soy protein, keratin, oat flour, amino acids, anything that like is protein rich, you should take a break from and prioritize like moisturizing products. I hope this helps because this blew the fuck out of me. I was not happy to learn about this, but now I know and I'm gonna try and like add some protein into my routine and see if it makes a difference.
You've watched to this extent. What are your thoughts? What's popping in your mind? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. So the struggle is real. Not only people are struggling with their 4C hair, but also having curly hair is an identity, you know? And with such features, you know, she's white presenting, and I would say, and when she wears her hair straight, it's easy to think that she isn't mixed. So that's why all the time she had to wear her hair straight so that she hides the second identity that she was carrying. So not only that their hair is just growing out of their scalp, but also it tells a lot about their identity. So that's why I felt that it's important for us to differentiate these videos because it carries a lot of meaning for them, you know. I'm not trying to minimize the fact that black people have 4C hair and it's also causing them problems. But you see, a black person is black and everyone knows that you're black. But when you have to hide a certain identity, you have to hide your mom for that. Yeah, for that reason, someone who gave birth to you, you have to hide who you came from because of how the society will have to perceive you once they know that your mom is black. So that's the problem. That's why I felt like it's important for us to separate these things. So yeah, that was it about this video. The point of everything is embracing who you are and loving who you are. I'm glad that she can now wear her hair curly confidently, but it's unfortunate that she had to hide a part of what she was naturally because of how the society perceive people of color. So yeah, that was about this video. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section. This video a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Goodbye for now.